Well, hello and welcome to the Phoebe Mac podcast. I'd like to address something today that is of a growing concern. This is something I see a lot at the moment in my tarot readings. Now, there is a type of person I'm going to talk about. Is this you? You may be in early 50s, or you could be experiencing the midlife crisis a little bit earlier than that. But it doesn't even have to be that age. What it is a level of success that you may have accomplished. Very successful people in one area or more that have actually ticked the boxes of life itself. Life as a human, I would say, as opposed to the depths of the spirit that we can also embrace, and in fact are being encouraged to do so as we travel into the new earth. New earth, a bit of a key term at this time. What does that even mean? Really, it's a new level of consciousness. It's an ability to deepen our personal awareness for the sake of the universal awareness, and thereby the sake of expansion of all that is. Pretty mind blowing when you think about it. However, the majority of people at the moment really are focused on one thing. Do you know what it is? Number one, themselves. Now, this has been enhanced with a bit of a culture of entitlement. Now, I'm not pointing the finger at any generation in particular because I actually feel that it covers all generations, believe it or not. It's just that it is shown in different ways. People actually reflect this in very subtle ways. Sometimes the kindest people are the most manipulative people, and that is quite a thing to say, isn't it? Anyway, this self-love era is super important. However, there is a very distinct, specific line between self-love and this entitlement. Self-love is there to encourage people to fully accept their journey themselves on a human level and a greater expanded level. It's not there to make it all about them or us or me or you. It is there to help people to literally tap into a greater consciousness that is going, in fact, into the depths of who they are and discovering all the BS that is actually blocking the flow of them being more awesome. So, what I want to say is this epidemic, you could say, is people are landing in a spot after they've ticked all these boxes, have all these achievements, received and achieved success on a level of human. That could be business. It could be that you're sitting pretty in your dream mansion. It could be that you've got all the friends, family, kids, and everything that you ever desired. But you know what? What's next? Is this it? These are some of the questions that I see in my tarot readings before the client even suggests it. I give them an insight and say, I do see this feeling that you've come to the end of an era and there's a new one that is yet to start. What does this mean? An old identity needs to collapse, and it needs to be aware, where you need to be aware of that collapse. Now, when I say collapse, it probably sounds a little bit negative. In fact, it's a celebration. It is the end of the era of that version of you. Now, I'd like to give a personal example of this because what's happened is I've actually reinvented myself over and over again. By default, I didn't actually intend to. I've always, however, been on the mission of being my personal best. Now, when we do that, we have this natural draw card to self-development, spirituality, looking into shadow work, transcending the gunk in our subconscious mind that blocks us from being in the flow of all that is. And naturally, you pop out the other side, kind of different person. If I think of myself 10 years ago, nothing about me is the same. I mean, even the cells in our physical body turn over within that time. You know what's interesting though? Within that time, I actually became more of an author artist in my own private life. I wasn't promoting it or spreading the news, but because of that, I decided to create a creator name, and that is Phoebe Mac, as you know me as. Before that, I had a different name. The name aligns with Phoebe Mac. However, I didn't expect that I would embrace my entire creative name as my actual living experience. But the power that was behind that in hindsight was so significant because the person I was, Fiona McLeod, she had so many lives within her own experience, but none of that has come through into my life as Phoebe Mack. And I invite you to consider in your own life what aspects of yourself have done their time, have completed. Which of those have completed and you've said, bye, see you later, sayonara, and which of those have you held on to, like holding on to mummy's skirt as a toddler? Which of them are you carrying around like you're stuck to a tent peg? Because many people that come to me for these tarot readings, they say a few common statements. I'm stuck. I feel trapped. I feel trapped is quite a big one. Or I'm at a crossroads. These kind of statements that indicate a similar situation, don't they? And in fact, they're not trapped. They're just hooked on to the past. And when we can release that past, that story about who we are, the identity of all the characters we play, the expectations and responsibilities that we had laid upon us, some self-inflicted and some thrown at by others, family, friends, society, and otherwise. It's so gutsy and rebellious to release those and actually step into the unknown. And that's why many people don't do it. They hold on because the unknown is more scary than the excitement of what could be. But it's so not. I am the first to say this because I'm an advocate, having experienced this myself. You may not actually even know how amazing the next chapter or sequel of your life could be. Because if you have a dream that's massive, the universe might actually have a dream that's way bigger than massive. Now that's mind-blowing for some people who are goal setters, goal achievers. Now what happens is I'm referring to these high achievers, successful people that are super capable, they can do anything themselves. But the point is, do you have to? Successful people also need support. They need to be able to trust that they are received by life and people around them and that they're seen for more than their achievements, even if they don't realize that, because a lot of people like to dine out on their achievements. I know somebody in my family who for many years after completing one of their significant businesses continued to introduce themselves in alignment with that business. Somehow they would make it come up in conversation. I used to do this because it made them feel that they were important. Unfortunately, they didn't feel that importance without that. And that's the shame. Now, that's a shame on two levels. The shame, because isn't it a shame that they don't realize how amazing they are? But it is a shame for that person. They, on some level, have a shame within their existence as a vibration, as an energy, in most likely their subconscious mind and even their soul's incarnation. And when people realize that they are justifying their existence by pulling back aspects of the past, holding on to parts of the past, and not setting themselves free into the unknown, then that is the key to living more fulfillment than you might have ever imagined. And that actually includes that inner peace, because there's this calmness about releasing the expectations and the assumptions of how things should be and the desires on an ego level. Because I'll let you in on the nitty-gritty secret. Following the heart, not in a woo-woo sense, not in a love sense, in a passion, in a heart flutter, in a expansion, in a, oh, this lights me up kind of feeling, will always guide you to the best path that your soul actually designed before you came here. And that, my friends, is my rave on for the day, and I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't know where it came from. It just bursted out of me right now, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Are you in that transitional phase? Have you jumped into the new identity of you, or are you stuck in this no man's land? No person's land, no woman's land, this place of limbo? Because that is exciting. Please understand that your next layer is to identify what you're holding on to from the past and choose to release it, and then get excited about the character that you are now developing for this game you call life. See you on the next one. Ciao for now.